Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my predictions of who should win each award in the new up-and-coming Premier League to celebrate the return of the Premier League finally. Everybody say yeah! Yeah! So the awards I'm going to be predicting today is the best young player of the season, the most impactful player of the season, who will lead the league in assists, who will be the top goal scorer, and who will be the player of the season. But before I go into this video, you guys know what I'm going to say. Make sure you guys like, comment, and hit that big subscribe button right there. And make sure you give me your predictions, yes, you, of who's going to win these individual awards. So the three nominees of who I think will be the best young player of the season, the first one is Mason Greenwood. And he's proven last season that he's a very up-and-coming, young, talented prospect that United fans should be excited for the next 10 to 12 years or so. He has cemented his position on the right-hand side with Rashford and Martial playing up front with him, but that's if Sancho doesn't come, because if Sancho comes, we know Greenwood's going to have to move onto the bench.
I said, wake the fuck up, sleepy time's over, little motherfucker, let's go.
And I also think this is a positive that he's not going to be in the limelight at Man United, because we know how much pressure these youngsters will have to be on, and most of these youngsters don't live up to the hype. Players like Depay, players like Januzaj, because the spotlight on them is too much, especially at such a young age. I love his talent. He's a two-footed player, and I don't know why. Why? Like, literally, God gave you 2 feet to use. So why are you players only using 1 feet? You're getting paid 300 grand and you can't even tell me you can't use both feet in training. The fact that Greenwood's two-footed literally confuses the defender. They don't know if he's going to cut it onto his left foot because he can strike a shot and make it go in, or he's going to run down that touchline and cross the ball with his right foot. It literally leaves the defenders puzzled of what he's going to do next. He's also a dynamic runner who strikes fears into the opponent, and we saw last season that he was able to get to 10 Premier League goals, the youngest player since 1984 to do that. The second option has to be Foden. I feel like the way Man City have groomed him, literally removed him from the spotlight, using players like David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, him having the privilege to learn from these top class players is only going to do him a world of good for next season. And I feel like next year, when he gets a lot more game time, we're finally going to see what he's actually made of. I feel like post-lockdown, we've truly seen how great of a player he's been. He's featured more on the side, he's shown that he can use both feet. He can literally pick out a pass in between the lines, that's no problem for him. And even Pep Guardiola, his own manager, said he is one of the most talented 20-year-olds he has ever coached in his life. And this guy has coached a lot of talent. I feel like this guy is ready for the next season. There's no better team to be in with all that talent who's going to get you those goals when you assist them. And also a manager who's proven in the past that he knows how to make players better, like Raheem Sterling. So the third player who I think may have a chance to be young player of the season, to be honest, there were so many players I could choose from. I was just like, But the players I've chosen is Havertz. I feel like it's going to have to be on him. He's 21-year-old, but has become Chelsea's most expensive player, costing the club £71 million. And it wasn't even one of those situations where like Chelsea threw money because they just wanted to get the deal done. No, so many other top clubs wanted him. Teams like Bayern Munich, teams like Liverpool were after his signature as well. So right there with players like Mbappe, he's one of the most talented young players across Europe to this day. And we all know how much of a great footballer he is on and off the ball in terms of his intelligence. What I feel like his main asset for Chelsea Football Club is going to be is his versatility. Imagine a player like Milner, a world-class version of Milner who's able to play multiple positions across the front three. He's showcased for Bayer Leverkusen. He can play down the middle up front, he can play the number 10, he can play on the right side as a centre midfield or a right winger. He is so versatile. This is going to be so important for Chelsea because we know how thin they are going up front, especially last season where they only had Abraham, Giroud and Pulisic up front. And if Pulisic got injured, like we saw in the FA Cup final, we saw the drop in quality for Chelsea Football Club.
I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left.
But this guy is tailor-made for the Premier League. He's 6'2", which shows he ain't gonna have no problem dealing with the physicality. Have no trouble dealing with teams like Burnley and Sheffield United, who typically try out-muscle their opponents. This guy is going to be a massive problem. It's going to be a massive problem. So the next category I'm going to do is different players. So basically the most impactful players for next season. I am not necessarily saying they're going to be the most impactful player next season, but I'm saying if they perform at a top level, that can transform their team from a Champions League team to a Premier League winning team, or a Europa League to a Champions League contender. So the first player I'm going to mention is Nicolas Pepe. He is going to be so important for Arsenal next season, considering how poor he did perform at the beginning of last season. Finally, he has got his feet underneath the carpet because he doesn't have the constant manager changing in Emery, Longberg, and now Arteta, who is a top-class manager right now. Despite his poor season, at the tail end of it, he has shown Arsenal how good of a player he's been, reaching over 20 goal contributions last season alone. And the thing is, it's undeniable his ability as a winger. One-on-one, this guy should be the best winger in the Premier League to date. His ability to go past defenders with ease like it's nothing. He can literally use his trickery. He can literally make the defenders dance for him in any sort of way he wants to because of the way he'll use step overs, any sort of skill to make the defenders confused. But the thing with Pepe, it's about harnessing, it's about mixing all these great attributes together to one big world-class player. This guy has the potential to be that, and if he helps Aubameyang chip in more goals and more assists next season with the likes of Lacazette, because we know Aubameyang is not falling off next season, that's a fact. If he's able to do that, Arsenal are a real threat to get top 4. The second player who I feel like has a great opportunity to be so impactful for his team is Thiago Silva. I know you guys are probably thinking, last video I did kind of boy him and say that he's going to be too old for this Premier League, which I do think he will. But if he can rewind the clock, go back in time, playing like a 28, 29-year-old right in his prime, because he's one of the best defenders in the world, undoubtedly. If he can do that for a whole course of a season, this will solve Chelsea's defensive issues, fire them into a Premier League race, considering the attacking ability they have with players like Havertz, Pulisic, Giroud, Abraham,
One eternity later.
Werner. The list keeps going on. So the only issues Chelsea have is defensively. Okay, so who's going to be the top assist makers next season? The first candidate I feel like will be Ziyech from Chelsea FC. This guy has a track record in leading leagues in assists in the Dutch league because he's already done it 3 times. And the thing is, as fans of not Chelsea, we should all be worried of this because he's going to be playing with better players, better goal scorers. And I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, it's the Dutch league. That's not even respected. That's not even one of the top 5 leagues in Europe. How are you even saying this? We have seen Ziyech have big games in the Champions League. Teams against Juventus, even against Real Madrid, even against his beloved Chelsea. He has destroyed these type of teams in the Champions League. So imagine against the inferior sides where he's going to have 50 to 60% of the possession all the time. Imagine the magic he's going to be able to whip up next season. Next player who I think has a great opportunity is Trent Alexander-Arnold. I am not trying to be biased because he's a Liverpool player, but he is my dark horse to finish top of assists next season. This guy is a generational talent. He has the ability to become the greatest ever right back who has ever played in the Premier League. Full stop, end the discussion, no more talking. That's how good he is. Whoa. Listen before you think I'm chatting the crap. He's one of the best crossers we've ever seen in the Premier League history, just behind the likes of Gerrard, David Beckham and Kevin De Bruyne himself. His ability to fly forward with Robertson because of the license Klopp gives him, knowing that the defence and the midfield are going to cover for them, literally is tailor-made for this guy to lead the league in assists. Considering how teams literally park the bus against Liverpool, he's going to have so much time, so many opportunities to get forward and literally cross the ball to the likes of Salah, Firmino and Mane. He finished second just behind Kevin De Bruyne in assists as a right back. So Trent has literally every chance to eclipse Kevin De Bruyne. However, there are issues that he's going to have more defensive responsibility considering how the other top 5 sides have strengthened. So the third choice and the most obvious one who's going to lead the league in assists is Kevin De Bruyne. To be honest, there's not much explaining to do for Kevin De Bruyne because all my guys are ballers.
All my guys are ballers. All my guys are ballers.
He literally has the best teammates in the Premier League with the likes of Mahrez, Aguero, Sterling, etc. All world-class players. Man City are literally going to dominate the ball, having 65 to 70% of the ball and the possession against literally any team in the league. So he's going to have so much time, space, pass and move the way Pep Guardiola likes his players to play. He's going to have so many opportunities to whip that ball from the right-hand side like he has done so many times last season and reach probably 18 to 20 assists yet again. So I do think Kevin De Bruyne will be the top assist maker next season. So the fourth category I'm going to do is who's going to be the top goal scorer next season. I honestly only think there's two contentions. Yes, there's people like Vardy, but I feel like Leicester are going to drop off next season. Yes, there's Harry Kane. I don't know how fit he's going to be next season. So this has really narrowed me down to two names. The first one is Aubameyang. Very self-explanatory. He has literally continued his form from last season, scoring that wonderful goal against Liverpool in the Community Shield, which is a friendly. It's a friendly, but he scored that magnificent goal against Liverpool in the Community Shield, showing that he's still one of the top strikers in the Premier League. He's not a winger, he's truly a striker, but the way he literally isolates defenders and picks them apart with his pace, scoring those nice finesse goals from that left-hand side or drawing the goal near post, it is literally devastating for any team. He was able to score 22 goals last season with no help. I'm predicting players like Pepe and Lacazette and help him next season. The other player who I feel like people aren't really talking about these days, he went from the most overrated player in the Premier League to one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, Mohamed Salah. His thirst, his hunger, his desire, his passion to bagging goals week in, week out, which has come at the cost of the detriment of Liverpool's team. This guy has literally had me screaming one day like, Salah! Oh wow! Oh! To be like, it's undeniable that although he's not the most clinical player in the Premier League when it comes to scoring goals, he does get a lot of chances to bag those goals in, especially playing with those fullbacks who are the top fullbacks in Premier League history when it comes to assists. Players like Firmino, who's a magician within himself, he's going to get a lot of chances next season. And Klopp really hates to rotate his side, especially the front three, because he doesn't trust the likes of Shaqiri and Origi that much off the bench. He's going to have plenty of opportunities next season to win the Golden Boot. And he's also won 2 of the last 3 Golden Boots, which has shown that he's well capable of reaching that milestone again. So because I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm predicting Salah to win the Golden Boot. So the player of the season is only one name, and he just won it last season. He's the best midfielder in the world. I really don't see any decline with him next season. He's a proven Premier League legend, Kevin De Bruyne. On possession, he's amazing. Delivering easy assists for the like of Aguero and Sterling up front. It's literally going to increase his tally in terms of assists. And his goal scoring ability last season, we saw how dead he is from so far out. It is not going to decline at all. I literally can't think of any other name who's in contention of being in Kevin De Bruyne's class when it comes to one of the best players in the world right now. Yes, there's Van Dijk, but are they going to be biased again towards a defender who's already won the award? Those are my predictions for next season. Make sure you guys like, comment, give me your own opinion of what you think is going to happen the season coming up. And I'll see you in the next video.